sorry. Thanks.
So, Lieutenant Governor, what's your take on the DMV? Do you think an audit needs to be called for?
I think an audit's fine, but I think reform's necessary. I don't think we need an audit to tell us what's wrong with the DMV. We've known what's wrong with the DMV for decades. There have been efforts going back to the Wilson administration to upgrade the information technology over there that have fallen short. We made an effort 6-7 years ago, $200+ million effort with HP Enterprises that fell short. The plumbing, the infrastructure there is collapsing. I actually wrote a book a few years back highlighting some of the issues in the DMV. So while an audit's nice, for me that's not a proxy for a sense of urgency to reform from bottom up the Department of Motor Vehicles, which is the retail component of government. And there's no greater point of frustration that transcends party and ideology than going to the DMV where you're sitting there being conditioned by Amazon while you're waiting in line and you end up filling out forms in triplicate. It makes no sense.
What are the main Valley issues that you want to see addressed either by these candidates or by yourself?
I think the issue of poverty, I didn't want to belabor the privilege of everybody's time here, but the issue of poverty drives deeply my why, particularly child poverty. I think you'll see that as a big part of the narrative of our closing argument in this campaign. I'm consumed by the focus on 0 to 3, where 85% of the brain is fully formed by the time you're 3 years old. It is a biological necessity, a developmental necessity that we address that issue. Prenatal care, nurse home visits, early head starts. That's going to drive a big part of our agenda if we're successful. So the issue of poverty, issues obviously of economic development. You can't have economic growth without workforce development, so the educational component is profoundly important. The Valley is one of the fastest growing parts of the state, one of the most dynamic parts of the state. There's a completely different story out here. The more it's spent out here, the more you realize this is not just an agricultural story. There's an entrepreneurial story. There's a technological story here as well. A lot of startups and incubators that are taking shape, and I want to be part of that broader conversation.
There's a lot of voters here in the Valley who disagree with you on main points that you've made, especially with immigration policies, sanctuary policies, immigration reform. Are those voters a priority for you too, and how are you going to win them over?
I support Californians. Look, 26 counties went for Donald Trump, including the county my father lives in, where I spent a great deal of time growing up in Placer County. So we have a responsibility to reach out to everybody. We all universally want to be protected, so public safety is foundational. We want to be respected, meaning we want our voices to be heard, and we want to be connected to something larger than ourselves, the community. Those are universal truths. Blue parts of the state, red parts of the state, rural and urban parts of the state. I want to represent everybody.
Where are you on Prop 3, the water bar?
I haven't gotten the $8.9 billion. I'm concerned about aspects of it. I'm figuring out what to do publicly on that.
So you're not decided yes or no?
I haven't. Frankly, I've been focused on these down ballot campaigns and just spent the last 3 days with about 15 candidates for office. I'm focusing more on those issues, and I'll get to some of these ballot issues.
How would you improve the water situation?
Well, there's a lot. I think the biggest issue out here, I spent a lot of time in the Valley, Porterville, and elsewhere, and the safe drinking water issues are profound and pronounced. I appreciate TJ bringing that up. Governor Brown, last 2 years, has tried to emphasize some solutions around safe drinking water. In particular, those have fallen short, but they've been heroic efforts. We got to carry it over the finish line, and so there's tenets of a deal there that I hope we can advance. On the original $7.5 billion bond, there's over there's I think $520 million. Forgive me if it's $720 million for safe drinking water. We got to get those dollars out, which is a big issue. We got to start spending those bond dollars. It's not just about the $2.7 billion on the above ground storage issue, which I know is deeply controversial out here. Temperance versus sites. I think sites has a bit of an advantage, it looks like, based on the water board decision. I'm not ideologically opposed to above ground storage. Heck, I was mayor of San Francisco, and has one of the largest above ground storage facilities of any municipality in the United States. 167-mile gravity fed system from the Sierras and the Chechi area and Yosemite. So all those things are, I think, advantages for the next administration, meaning a lot of good work has been done on water over the last 7 or 8 years, and the next governor needs to apply some of the good work that's been done and make sure those monies are being wisely invested, including, by the way, groundwater management, which obviously is taking shape here in the Valley, which was wildly controversial, which is a real opportunity for us to do to think differently about groundwater.
What's the latest between the debate between you and Cox?
He apparently decided not to do the CNN debate. We immediately offered to do another one, and we're seeing where he is on that. Look forward to getting a response from him.
And what do you think of this whole story in the LA Times about your connections with 8 families in San Francisco? And
Golden oldie. It's I can write all these. They've been written before. I don't know
what's your response to say you're a product of privilege?
Well, if you actually knew the real story of my life, product of a teenage mom who was separated, came from no wealth, passed away 18 years ago, breast cancer, raised me on her own. Saw my dad on weekends every 3 or 4 months, and during the summer, you see a completely different story, but that one's not as interesting. So I get why it hasn't been written. One day someone will write the real story.
Illegal immigration has cost Californians tens of billions of dollars. Do you think we should secure our borders?
Immigration has advanced the economy of the state in profound and pronounced ways.
Illegal immigration.
And I think substantively the economy out here has been advantaged by people here that have not been documented. I think we need comprehensive immigration reform. We don't need to demagogue the issue. I've always believed in border security, but I don't believe in a 10th century solution to border security, which is billions and billions of dollars wasted on a wall where people can easily navigate a wall, either tunneling under it or navigating over it. 40% of people are here without documentation. As you know well, 40% flew into the state or came here and overstayed their visas. So I'm actually for solutions, not demagoguing the issue, not dividing folks. Comprehensive immigration reform is needed in this country. This state should lead that conversation anew. But I'm not going to vilify folks that are here based on real economic pressures in this region and are a big part of the economy of the state. Thank you all. Anything else? Awesome. Thank you.